What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it. And today, as you can tell by the title of the video, we're going to be doing my NFL power rankings. Now, I don't do power rankings every single week. I do them in chunks of the season. I kind of look at it like, okay, you got the quarter of the season, the halfway point, then 3/4 of the way, and then the end of the season, right? We're kind of past the 3/4 of the way there. So I thought, you know what? It's time to hit you guys with another power rankings video. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do it on the board behind me. Before I do, if you're new to the channel, make sure to go ahead and subscribe in order to support me, guys. I do talk a lot of NFL on this channel, and you don't want to miss out. Hit the bell icon to be notified every time I drop a new video, and make sure you are following me on all my social media platforms. Links, as always, down below on the screen for that. So let's get into it. All right, here we go. So we've got 1 through 10, and I'm going to be starting at number 10 and working my way up to number 1, okay? And let me just say this. I do not do my power rankings just based off of record, okay? Because if that was the case, then I might as well just not do them. We could just rank all the teams by record. No, record does absolutely come to play here, but I look at everything, and it's a combination of, you know, how you're playing, the teams you played, etc., and all of those things combined. So just because you see a team that has a worse record that I have ranked higher, you know, than another team with a better record, you know, whatever, that doesn't mean, you know, that it's wrong because I should have ranked the team with the better record above the team with the worse record. No, it's not based off record. All right, so keep that in mind. With that being said, let's start at number 10. And number 10 is tough. It's always tough because there's a lot of teams on the cusp, right? There's a lot of teams that I think are top 10 teams, but there's a team that I'm very comfortable with right now, putting them at number 10. And folks, I've been on this team since before the season started. I got laughed at. People ridiculed me. They said, Faiz, what are you doing? But they have proven their worth, folks. And that is number 10, the Cleveland Browns. Yes, that's right, the Cleveland Browns. Who would have thought we'd be here talking about the Browns as a top 10 NFL team? Yes, that's right, okay? The Browns are legit, folks. Now, I will say this. Their drawback and the thing holding them back is Baker Mayfield. All right, he had a phenomenal game against the Tennessee Titans, but for the most part, Baker Mayfield is the weak link of that team. They dominate you by running the football. That is their preference, and that's the thing about the Browns, folks, is their coaching staff knows how their bread is buttered, if you will, which is through the run game, through Nick Chubb, through Kareem Hunt, which is, I think, the best running back duo in the NFL, right? If I can, you know, think of anyone else, I don't believe so. And you've got Jarvis Landry, who's still solid in the pass game, and you know, you've got two good tight ends in Hooper and Njoku, and of course, the Browns defense has been solid. Maybe not spectacular, but definitely solid through the season. And I'll tell you this much. Losing Odell Beckham Jr., while it was a big loss, I believe it has made Baker Mayfield a better quarterback because he does not force it to Odell. Instead, goes through his reads and throws it to whoever's open. So I love the Browns here, and I think they need to get your respect here, folks. The Cleveland Browns at number 10. Moving on to number 9, I've got the Indianapolis Colts, folks. The Colts are a boring football team. All they do is, you know, move the football, you know, with non-explosive plays and just win games. But that is why they're a top 10 team, because they've got a good coaching staff, they've got a good offensive line, they've got a great defense, and they've got an offense that is pretty solid, not spectacular, folks. And here's the thing, in the playoffs, you know, you win in the trenches, and the Colts, they're good there, okay? And I like this Colts team because, like I said, as long as Phillip Rivers doesn't make any boneheaded mistakes, right, just throws the football in the most inopportune time, this Colts team, going off of their run game with Jonathan Taylor, Nyheim Hines, even Jordan Wilkins, and depending on their defense, can be a threat for teams in the playoffs. So I like the Colts. I like the makeup of their team. They are a top 10 team. Moving on to number 8, I've got the LA Rams. And yeah, the Rams are back. And you know what? Sean McVay is back because he is the guy on this team that the Rams should be most thankful for. It's not Aaron Donald. It's not Jalen Ramsey. It's not all these other players on the team, even though they're really good players, obviously. But Sean McVay just works magic with this offense, all right? Because I'm telling you right now, they have been so impressive this entire season with just racking up wins. Now, again, they can't beat the 49ers, so if they meet up the 49ers in the playoffs, they're done because they can't seem to beat them. But every other team, they seem to play pretty well against, okay? And like I said, the offense with Jared Goff, you're still able to make it work. That's credit to Sean McVay. That's credit to that coaching staff. And they can hit you in so many ways. Play actions, bootlegs, just motion left and right. Like all of these, exotic play designs. That's the beauty of the Rams. And of course, their defense will get after you. Their pass rush is incredible, and not to mention, obviously, their secondary as well. So this Rams team, elite defensively, and you've got a wizard, a magician, a mastermind at your head coach who can make the offense decent. That brings a good combination here, and I would not want to play the Rams in the playoffs. All right, there we have it at number 8, the Rams. Moving on to number 7, we've got the Tennessee Titans. And folks, the Titans obviously had their Cinderella run last year. And you know what? They have come back and they have proved that they are legitimate, and that was not a fluke, folks. All right? Look, their offense puts up points. They are explosive. Actually, their offense is the thing that holds this team together because their defense isn't very good, and their defense is probably the reason why they are not higher on this list. The Titans, though, when they get hot, man, and they're running the football with Derrick Henry, it is just game over. And that's the thing with Derrick Henry, folks. We're getting into the later part of the year. The weather's getting colder. Defense is getting tired. Derrick Henry gets stronger. All right? Derrick Henry gets stronger, and you are not going to want to go and face off against Derrick Henry in this Titans team. So I love what they're about. Ryan Tannehill's played some very good football. So this Titans team is solid, and they are certainly a top 10 team. All right, moving on to number 6. Kind of pains me to have them all the way down here, but I have to. The Seattle Seahawks. Folks, at the beginning of the year, they were a top 5 team, so this is not a big deal for them. This is actually them trending downwards because, like I said, at the beginning of the year, they were a top 5 team. But the thing with the Seahawks is, even at the beginning of the year, they were too one-dimensional, right? Just a very, very good offense. Russell Wilson just playing like an MVP, and obviously he hasn't been playing like that lately. But their defense was awful in the first half of the year. Now their defense is awful still. And here's the other thing. The offense has stopped being as dominant, and now they have not let Russ cook. That's a problem, folks, because that's the entire Seahawks. It's their offense. If they're not able to put up points in bunches with Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, you're not going to be able to really put up points as the Seahawks, because you can have anybody score on this defense. All right, the Giants scored on this defense. So keep that in mind with the Seahawks and why I have them ranked so low. Their defense is a big, big, big problem. I still have faith in Russell Wilson, and when you have Russell Wilson, you have a chance. But their defense needs to be better, and their offense needs to, be hot again, because if they are not letting Russ cook, that's a big problem. All right, they can't become a running team. They need to let Russ throw the football. All right, now we are in the top 5 of my power rankings, and here we go at number 5. Just had a double check there. I've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, folks. A lot of people want to ridicule the Bucs, but I'm telling you, folks, this team is still solid on both sides of the football. Tom Brady's having a bad year by people's standards. 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. I will take that any day of the week if I am a team, and that is the numbers that my quarterback is putting up. So I'm not worried about the offense. Tom Brady, they're going to figure it out, folks. They've literally done this with no preseason, no OTAs, no training camps. And I'm telling you right now, this Bucs team, especially with their run defense, hopefully their pass defense improves, come playoff time, they put it all together, it's going to be hard to be able to stop this team. This is going to be very hard. So I think the Bucs are a top 5 team. Moving on to number 4 here, and let me just make sure here before I do that. We've got the Green Bay Packers, and yes, I can already hear Packers fans watching this video just absolutely disgusted. Faiz, you have the Packers at number 4. They should be top 3. Listen, all right? I already put them above the damn Bucs when maybe I shouldn't have, because the Packers lost to the Bucs, and that was the worst loss that they've had all season. But I digress. Point being here is the Packers are obviously a Super Bowl contender. Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes are the only 2 legitimate players I believe are competing for the MVP award. The only reason I've got the Packers here is when the Packers are not able to stop the other team, that's a problem, and their defense is a problem, especially their run defense. And so they've got a hole there. They've got a hole there. Now, they've got Aaron Rodgers on the other side of the football, so you should be fine. But the thing with the the thing with the Packers, I should call them the Green Bay Rodgers because that's what they are. The thing with the Packers is they're so dependent, right, on a couple of things, right? You take away Devontae Adams. Now, who do you have to throw to? You take away, like, certain things. But overall, folks, look, easier said than done. It's very hard to stop this team. I'm telling you right now, Aaron Rodgers, it's him or Patrick Mahomes for MVP. So the Packers are absolutely legit. Could you make the case for them to be a top 3 team? Absolutely. All right, you'll see the top 3 teams I have here, and then you'll say, okay, that makes sense. All right, so Packers, number 4, don't feel so bad. Number 3, yes, I've got the New Orleans Saints here. Folks, without Drew Brees and Taysom Hill at quarterback, they're winning games. This is arguably the most complete team in the NFC, folks. I'm telling you right now, I picked the Saints to come out of the NFC before the season started. I'm sticking by it, and the reason is because, folks, look, where are the holes on this team? We're talking about, a good coach. We're talking about a good offense, with weapons. We're talking about a good defense rounding into form. They're good in all phases of the game. And the fact that they can win without Drew Brees, I get it. They played the Falcons twice, right? They played the Broncos with no quarterback. But the fact that you still can win games without Drew Brees just shows me how deep this team is. And I'm telling you, they are a Super Bowl contender and a top 3 team in the NFL. So there you have it. Number 3, the Saints. Moving on to number 2, and here we go. Here we go, right? What do I have here? Because everybody knows who number 1 and 2 are. I'm going to do it. I've got the Chiefs at number 2. Look, I actually believe the Chiefs are the best team in football. But here's the reason I have them at number 2 is because we know what the number 1 team is. Let's not even, act surprise here. It's the undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers. But here's the reason why I've got the Steelers number 1 and the Chiefs at number 2. I believe the Chiefs are the better team. And I believe if they matched up today, I would pick the Chiefs to win the game. But the thing with the Steelers is, I believe the Steelers can absolutely beat the Chiefs. Would I pick them? No. But can they do it? Yes. And like I mentioned about the Saints, the Steelers don't really have a weakness. They've got a good offense. They've got a multitude of weapons with, their receivers and Juju and Claypool and Deontay Johnson. Obviously, James Conner in the backfield. Obviously, Big Ben Roethlisberger at quarterback. And then defensively, this is the best defense in football. So if you're giving me the best defense in football and you're giving me a top 5 offense, at worst, maybe top 10, or not maybe, certainly top 10, potentially top 5 offense, I don't know how you don't put that team at number 1. Now, again, the Chiefs are the only other team in that conversation, so I won't fight you for it, but I'm going to give them that credit, and you know what? Maybe there's exceptions here where I say 11-0. Yeah, that's impressive. So I've got the Steelers at number 1. I've got the Chiefs at number 2. Let me know what you guys think. Those are my power rankings. Leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree. As always, thanks for watching.